the reason why our vaccine, can be can be created like so fast in a few months, rather than in the previous years, which would take about 6 to 9 years. Okay, yeah, and one of the key thing is because AI, and AI has, as in artificial intelligence has also grown to a very way mature level that most of us would have anticipated. Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about that, and of course, therefore, what are the opportunity we will have. Okay, right, then we will also go through finally coming back to then, therefore, as human, you and me. Yeah, when I was preparing this particular topic, I actually was struggling between, do I want to focus on corporate, or do I want to focus on individual, like you and me? Yeah, so I have a mix of both, so that hopefully you are able to take back some tips. If you run your own company, have your own team, you know what you can do. And at the same time, at the individual level, if you are as an owner of business, or as a person, what you can do to also get ahead. Okay, yeah, so that's how I would want to approach this. Yeah, so key objective very quickly. First one is, of course, we're going to look into some risk and opportunity. Yeah, post-pandemic. We are still in pandemic. We are not post yet. Okay. Yeah. So and of course, riding through into the wave of mega trend, which has already started actually. Yeah, and this mega trend has also already started even before the pandemic. Okay, but the good news is it is just starting, so you are not too late. Okay, yeah. And then the third one is, of course, we are going to look into organization agile. One of the key questions a lot of my clients ask is like, how do we prepare our people? What the organization, how should we be compared to last time? How do we become more agile, and how do we make our people become more ready without waiting for training? How do they become ready themselves? Faster than the training that we can provide them. Okay, yeah, then of course we are going to re-look at what is the purpose of human. Now, talking about purpose, there are a lot of talks that say, oh, you need to find your purpose, but most people say, I don't even know what I want. I only know that I want to have enough money to be able to survive for the next 6 months. But there are actually universal purpose. You like it or not, it comes with us. Okay, so when we get those universal purpose right, whatever new things you want to become, you will be a better position. Okay, so let's get back to the basic. Then, of course, fifth one is a conclusion. Yeah, what are the key steps you and I can take, to continue to charge forward, especially during times of turbulence. And this turbulence that we are going through, which is like after earthquake, a major earthquake, you have minor earthquake, right? So we are still in that. Our major earthquake is not over yet. Yeah, the pandemic is still not over yet, even though vaccine is already started to administer in many countries already. Yeah. Okay. So now, just a word. I know some people, usually will say, "Can I have the slide?" The answer is no. Okay. So stand by your whatever devices you have. Yeah, you can take pictures. There will be QR code that will be shared, for articles, and also I would also like to hear your inputs. Yeah, so there will be Q&A. And would like you to key in your answers in the chat room later. Okay, can we have that? Right. So if everybody is good to go, can I just say 111? Let's click 1 in the chat room before I start. Yeah, in the chat room. Yeah, just type in 111 so I know that, okay, you got it. Fantastic. Okay. Wow, some are very enthusiastic. 111, very good. Okay, great. So first topic, let's go into this. So where are we now today in the pandemic? Already 100 million. Is it a lot? Well, if we compare to the previous years, previous huge pandemic, not really. But then again, we are in a different era, right? So we could have done a better job, but what are we to say? Will this number continue to increase? We hope that the increase, the surge will slow down. But question mark, because there are also new strain has been discovered. Yeah, like the UK strain, which became the South Africa strain. And the latest one last night, there was another news, a new strain that was found. I haven't read more news into it. Yeah, but the UK, the strain, the good thing is that. What it does is the virus is spreading a lot faster now, but in terms of danger wise, it is not more dangerous. Okay, but the thing is, if you spread more to more people, which means also more people get sick lah. Correct or not? Yeah, so it's still not good news. Yeah, total death is already 2 million. Yeah, so we still need to continue to do what we must. Yeah, vaccines is already started to administer. The prayerfully that there is is good news all the way. Yeah, there's just one news just came in. One of the companies vaccine it's not good to go for 65 years old and above. Yeah, so continue to monitor that. Yeah, but other than that, Malaysia general distribution for public will be in March only. Yeah, and we were hoping that it will come in January. Yeah, because it will have huge impact on the discovery of the economy. Okay, but it looks like that has been delayed. Okay, yeah, so of course the testing and for the critical group are already starting. I think it's this week or next week already. Okay, right. So where do you see Malaysia economy, heading, or global economy? Do you think this year, 2021, will it be up, down, or sideways? Okay, sideways means same lah, same like now. Okay, so up means it will continue to be better and better. Yeah, right. Key into the answer to the chat. Yeah, up or down. Yeah, or sideways. Okay, so what do you think? Okay, type your answer. Up, down, sideways. What about the rest? I only have 2 answers here. Okay, yeah, down. All right. So, Jeremy, this session is not recorded, right?
You want me to stop it for a while? I'll stop it for a while, huh? I'll stop it. I'll pause it.
So, wow. Okay, yeah. So a lot of people are saying that 2021 is going to be down. Yeah. So which is I won't say surprising lah. Yeah. Even last year at the end of like when we are approaching like New Year celebration, the turn of New Year, even though a lot of people say this year is going to be a good year, you know, but then the number was like keep increasing. Yeah, then it just shot up. Okay, yeah. So yes, the economy is either down or sideways. Yeah, so this is also what I'm predicting, but who knows, right? Yeah. So, and of course, in terms of industry that are hit, yeah, this is actually from a research house. Yeah, that was published last year. Yeah, the key industry that is badly hit is the tourism, yeah, event management. Yeah, so a lot of international events are also being put on hold. You know, Olympic was another one that is on or not on. Yeah, World Economic Forum, which is the global event. You know, every year in January, I always look forward for the event and look out for updates, you know, what are the global leaders' direction, yeah, and that has also been delayed. Yeah, this year has been delayed. Yeah, but the good thing is that they already started conversations with global leaders, and actually they put it in Zoom, which also means that allowing us to actually go in, participate, share our thoughts and things like that. Yeah, so some good news, bad news. Yeah, retail. Yeah, if you are in KL, you will see that people are still shopping. You know, when you go out, sometimes it's still jam. But largely retail are down a lot. Yeah, if you drive out to a not so popular area or sometimes nearing to our place, you will see some of the shops that we frequent, you know, close down and things like that, right? So then, of course, still, yeah, a lot of industry numbers are now it's Q1, so a lot of end of Q4 reports. Yeah, last year's December's up to December's reports are coming in. Yeah, some are good, some are not so good. Yeah, generally are not so good, right? Yeah. So then, in terms of now, let's talk about economy as a whole. Yeah. So what are the percentage of economy total? Yeah, that is being affected during the major recession sessions. Yeah. So if we look back to history. In the earlier centuries, yeah, we have the World War I, yeah, in the 1914 to 1918. The global economy, about 70% of global economy was affected. Yeah, was into recession, not just affected, but into recessions. All right, and then of course the Spanish pandemic came in the end of the war. Yeah, and that's in 1918. Yeah, so and then later on we have this huge Great Recession. Yeah, this is where the stock market crashed. Yeah, just before the World War II. Yeah, so 80% of global economy was in recessions. Okay, and what about pandemic? Yeah, before that, of course, is subprime. Subprime is about 60+%. Yeah, if you were in the banking industry, financial institution, in the insurance, then you would have felt it. If you are not, you probably didn't felt so much during the US subprime crisis. Okay, yeah, and then of course this year, you know, when the pandemic hit was like 90% yeah, of global. It's basically every industry are being hit. All right, and you have never seen like thousands of planes on the ground. They are looking for place to park. You know, hotel was shut. You know, malls was nobody. You know, was close their doors, and I was saying nobody has ever anticipated that. Yeah, but of course there are some leaders in the world has anticipated that. Okay, so this data is from World Bank. You actually can get the URL. You can take picture, get the URL. This is actually a live data. Yeah, even though this data in the first week of Jan was anticipating that, hey, economy should be getting better, you know, so that's why the graph went all the way down. But then you probably want to check the update, what's the latest now. Okay, right. So what about global debts? Yeah, the report has came out. This is towards end of last year. Global debts has reached 277 trillion. Now, how much is a trillion? Now, just imagine how many company in the world is a $1 trillion company. Market cap of $1 trillion. Can you name a few? Anybody? I know there are some investors here. How many companies? Which are the companies who have crossed over the trillion? Yes, Apple. All right. Apple, Amazon, Microsoft crossed and then came down. All right. Yeah, Tesla belum lagi. Okay. Yeah. So there is only 3 to 4 companies who have crossed the $1 trillion. Yeah, mingling around there. Of course, Apple shot up to almost 2. Yeah, and I can't remember. Did it reach 2? I can't remember. Yeah, but here this figure is 277 times of that. Okay, yeah, so and this global debts has already been increasing even before the pandemic. Okay, yeah, and these numbers is what do you call that? It's still in the midst early stage of pandemic before the third wave surge came in. Yeah, so and when the report came out at that. This was, if I remember correctly, it's November. Yeah, the developed country, you know, like your US, Canada, yeah, the overall debts has jumped to 400%, right? And emerging market, yeah, has jumped to 250%. Yeah, and of course China 300%, globally is already 365%. And these numbers we have not factored in Biden's 1.9 trillion. Yeah, and of course Europe build up. Yeah, and of course Japan are also talking about they are going to come up with another stimulus. Yeah, so this number will continue to jump. Okay, yeah, then the next question is like who's going to pay these debts after this? Okay, so now how government does it is, of course, they'll create bonds lah, corporate and governments, right? Then the next question is, do you dare to buy the bonds or not? Right, if you hold the bonds, do you have confidence that they will pay you back? Right, so big questions. All right, so now what has happened is, of course, even before the pandemic, this whole digital transformation, this whole 4.0, right, has already changed the business world. Yeah, and of course those who are ready, yeah, a lot of corporate world are already talking about they need to be digitally ready, you know, before 2020. Yeah, the one who are ready, then of course great for them. Yeah, the one who are not ready will badly hit. Yeah, the one who still have a bit of reserve and manage to transform during this period, then they survive. Yeah, if not, then they actually call the day. Okay, so what are the key business model? Yeah, moving forward, and which already started. Of course, cloud computing. Yeah, anything that is that. D2C, direct to consumer, which means directly from manufacturing producer, directly to consumer. Cut away the middle portion. What do you call that? Distribution chain. Yeah, so a lot of my friends who were in the trading business, yeah, business trading side, yeah, or even the middle level supply chain, they are already experiencing the squeeze before the pandemic. Yeah, pandemic is definitely is escalating the whole thing. Huh? Yeah, so and what is D2C? If you bought something from Lazada, Amazon, Lazada, Shopee, you know, and some of the seller behind, they'll say, oh, we are D2C, right? So manufacturers selling directly to end consumer like you and me. Okay, yeah, so subscription based, yeah, so if you are in a business that your client will need to subscribe, yeah, so that's why the online app, e-app, there's so many of advertisement now, right? Special price subscription, you know, lifetime subscription, or what do you call it, monthly subscription. Yeah, the lifetime subscription you definitely want to check, because some of them are really crappy inside there. Okay, yeah, but things like Netflix, yeah, things like a lot of apps in our phones, yeah, are subscription based. Yeah, so clients subscribe one, you sell once, and you continue to, you know, earn from them, you know, if your apps is something that they use every day, yeah, or use regularly. Okay, then of course, one-stop solution. In the bank, we always been talking about one-stop solution since like 20, 30 years ago. Okay, but from a technology point of view, it's about one super app. Yeah, so if you look into the development of Touch and Go, I don't know how many of you use Touch and Go. The development is so fast. Yeah, it started from payment, but now they have gone into food distribution, of course, transfer of money, paying bills, and a lot of other stuff. Yeah, and the one who started all these super app one was, of course, none other than Jack Ma. You know, he's the N financial group. Yeah, if you use WeChat, some of you got into WeChat before, yeah, or will use WeChat app. Yeah, so they are already selling like micro loans, micro what do you call it, insurance and investment, yeah, through apps like that. Yeah, but then of course this huge question mark is legal or not. Yeah, so now there's the issues, yeah, with the regulator. Okay, yeah, so there's a, but super app is definitely the way to go. Yeah, Tony Robbins, but our Tony Fernandez, yeah, his team, one of the things that he's focusing on is also creating this super app, right? So Grab is definitely one super app. Yeah, if you're a Grab user, I never use Grab food. I somehow every time ordered Grab food, the food never come twice already. So I still have a problem with that. But I use Grab app for other things, yeah, for so many other things. Yeah, then of course, this whole conversation about green, yeah, green technology, sustaining the environment, yeah. Now, green technology or environment is not just environment, it's actually environment, people, and profit, yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And of course, buy now, pay later. It doesn't matter whether you are rich, not rich. Yeah, even rich people now also buy now, pay later because it's 0%. All right. Yeah, installment. Yeah. So there have been research that this buy now, pay later culture is already here. Even people who had the money to pay in full, they will still leverage on the zero interest, yeah, and the bank is like this, yeah, or the financial is like this. They hope that you default lah, then after that they can start charging you. Okay, but you are disciplined enough, then you are actually benefiting from it. Okay, so now what are the other impacts in this whole new world? Yeah, so first one is of course global debts, yeah, to GDP has swelled a lot, yeah, with the government's borrowing, yeah, and US is a very good case to follow, and why they dare to print so much money is a lot of what do you call that, history to the monetary system. Okay, yeah, so the now is they are looking for solutions, just get it out to the people first, yeah, then they are looking at ways to look for fundings, look for increasing of tax and all those things. The second one is of course smart technology has replaced the way of work, business, work and life. One of the reasons why my book was delayed for a year is because when I wrote the book, you know, this whole thing about work from home and shop from home and whatever was alien to many people. But with the lockdown, it become live. Yeah, so I took the opportunity to actually change a lot of things and like highlight what is happening now, and also what will therefore bring to the future, what's going to be. And this change will continue to change. Whatever we are experiencing now, in the next 10 years, I would believe that next 10 years, the way of our business life, you know, and work is going to be another level of change, which we have not anticipated yet. Yeah, and one of the key reasons is this: the technology advancement and innovation. Yeah, and this invention is no longer in the hands of a few bright people, scientists, and whoever. Yeah, young people, you have seen, you know, young people who still haven't even finished their school yet already invent. solutions. Yeah, so and more of that will be coming up. Yeah, okay, so. And it also cut across all industries, no longer just one industry. The transformation has changed and then impact the other industry. But every industry, the changes and innovation is happening at the same time. So if you talk about change, it's no longer just rapid, but it's exponential, and I don't know what the words for it, yeah, of the change, right? So and new business model are outplacing the middle value change, yeah. So from business point of view, actually, if you're in the middle portion business area, you will begin to felt that your margin has already shrunk. Yeah, even in the banking industry, yeah, those who were like in the mortgage, yeah, they sell bank loans for housing loans, yeah, credit cards and whatever loans. Those who have been in the banking industry for more than 20 years, they have also seen how their commission has getting lower and lower. Yeah, they have to sell more, but then the commission is lower, much more lower compared to 20 years ago. Yeah, so the reason is because technology has actually increased productivity so much faster without the human intermediaries. Okay, now the fourth one, this is a very surprising thing. I won't say surprise, but it is something that has therefore caused the whole impact to the human side. Yeah, income and individual wealth are declining. Yeah, the younger generation today, yeah, compared to our parents at the similar age, are earning a lot less. Yeah, and then from a value perspective, and also from wealth accumulation perspective, they are accumulating wealth a lot later part of their life. Yeah, so which is going to be a huge issue, yeah, if they do not do something on their own personal and family finance in the earlier stage of their life, yeah, or increase in both in increasing their income and also in increasing their wealth in the earlier stage of their life. Okay, so that is a huge area. Yeah, and the other thing is, despite the technological advancement, the mental health of human being continue to deteriorate. It's a terbalik punya chart, right? This economy and market are different. Your stock market keep going up, economy is not too sure, but then you have people who earn big bucks, but that's only a few. But the global mental health are deteriorating, yeah, and has already been deteriorating even before pandemic. Yeah, and of course last year we have seen the peak of this suicide, yeah, especially in Japan. Yeah, suicide case has actually jumped a lot, right? Yeah, and likewise in many other areas, even in Malaysia, we have seen a few bright kids, yeah, famous kids who won awards and all those things, and also took their life and all those things. Okay, and there are a lot other cases, which is back home, which was not in the news, and a lot of people didn't talk about it. Okay, so this is also another major issues. Okay, so based on your experience, I want to hear from you. Yeah, any insight into Malaysia that with you? Okay, you can actually get the link. I can send you the link, and then the World Bank is continuously tracking the global and also in countrywide that also. Okay, so based on your personal experience, in the marketplace, in your workplace, with your clients, or with your businesses side, right? What are the top risks that you are observing, yeah, in the industry that you are in? Okay, yeah, please share your thoughts in the chat. What are the top 3 risks that you are facing in your industry? Let's hear from you. Anyone? Okay, people might increasingly prefer non-human interface product like self-learning, self-reference. Yeah, very true. Okay, consumer liquidation, they want to hold on to their money. Yeah, so payment terms. Yeah, and that is one of the key ones that I've heard also from my friends who are in the area of who are in business. Yeah, so payment terms are holding back. Yeah, And then self-learn and self-reference, is it effective or not? Question mark, right? Yeah. So yes, a lot of people are actually seeking for that, lowering purchase power, which is absolutely true in any recessions that will always happen. Yeah, and as business, if you are a businessman, you would have already felt, yeah, a lot of your client would probably like a product, ask a proposal, wanted it, then with this year, the suddenly MCO 2.0, they hold back on their purchase. Yeah, they hold back on their purchase decision. Yeah, even for me personally, there are certain purchase decision that it's like, hey, time to change my phone. Then after I say, hey, I still can use hold on first. Okay, yeah. So so global market is opening. Is open, and anyone can be a competitor. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is this: the competitor is no longer competitor from your industry, but competitor from anybody else. Yeah, ridiculous, over demanding. Yeah, I believe you are Ivy, you are a businesswoman. Yeah, and that will be coming from the client side. Yeah, changes of policy, yes. Instability, yes. I have a lot of my contacts also ask me, what about politics? I'll share with you later. Yeah, to me, it's like, let's look at the areas that we can control. Okay. Yeah, anyone bombarded now with many free stuff? True. Yeah. I want to make sure to make real purchase. Yeah, correct. Yeah. So there are many people who look for bargain hunting. Yeah. But at the end of the day is also how we hold the value that we hold. Yeah, I even among the consulting group, yeah, I have friends discussion that was going on, like, now we are doing Zoom online. A lot of clients say lower your price, you're no longer face to face. You should be cheaper. But the thing is, like, hey, we are actually what are we selling? Are we selling space or are we selling knowledge? Are we selling space or are we selling what do you call that, facilitation, and helping your people to actually realize the growth, yeah, or growth that they can actually focus on. Okay, so there are a lot of risks that is going on, but I always say there is always two sides of the story. Yeah, whenever there is a risk that we can see, it is also the opportunity that we can see already. Okay, yeah, so the biggest risk is political instability. Yeah, okay, and a lot of the talks and seminar that I attended, yeah, and a lot of them are also politely, saying the same thing too. Yeah, but I always say politics will pass one lah. Yeah, we just have to hang on. Okay. Yeah, and focus on what we can do first. Yeah, areas that we can what do you call that, can handle. Yeah, can control, can be in control. Let the politics do whatever political thing that they want to do. Unless you are involved in politics, yeah, then do go ahead and do your part. Okay. Yeah. So now coming back to, therefore, I mean, despite whatever that's happening now, let's look forward, yeah, in the short term and also the longer term future. Yeah, where can we focus on? Very quick one. Where is Malaysia GDP growth? Right. So probably a bit of a good news. If you look at Asia financial crisis, and of course Malaysia is one of the smack in the middle of this crisis also, the GDP dropped to 7%. Yeah, this is from the World Bank. This data is live. You can just take the URL and every time you go in, the if there are changes, they actually change there. Okay, it's a live one. So Asia financial crisis, yeah, dropped to 7%. Yeah, and of course during the subprime we are not that badly hit, but still, yeah, we are affected by 1.5%. Yeah, and then before the pandemic, yeah, we were at 4.3% growth. Yeah, and of course the 2020 result is not out yet. Yeah, based on Malaysia Statistics Department, we will likely meet a negative of 6%. Okay, and and I always tell my audience in Zoom, most of us, if you are in Zoom, right, you are the group of people that we are okay. We can have whatever food we have. If you see Facebook posts, I see like people have nice food lah, things like that. We are the group of people that I would say we are blessed lah. Okay, but remember, beyond us on the ground, there are many people on the ground who are badly affected. Okay, so this number is a result of that too. Okay, then of course our dear Mr. Ministry of Finance, said that this year he maintained the forecast at 6.5 to 7.5%. Yeah, so will that change? We do not know. Yesterday, Rahim and Co, which is a property group, yeah, one of the well-respected group, yeah, and in the corporate property side, he did mention that the Malaysia recovery, especially in the property industry, likely going to be in 2022 only. Okay, yeah. So then, what about the consumer sentiment? Yeah, through the years, you can see during the Asia financial crisis, even though the real GDP has dropped significantly, consumer sentiments does not drop as much as the real GDP. Okay, yeah. Then of course the subprime, and of course where we are today. Okay, so in terms of real GDP growth, we actually has dropped significantly, even worse than the Asia financial crisis. Yeah, so the ripple effect we will see in the next this year actually. Yeah, in the next probably half a year or even much more longer. And a lot of people that I talk to, half a year is very, is a miracle, right? Yeah, so we will see. Okay, then what about Malaysia unemployment rate? Yeah, during Asia financial crisis we were about 4.5, 4%, and of course now we are about, I mean, at the height we were at 5%. Yeah, the numbers that came in just the last few days is also hovering a bit below 5. Is it high or not? This is a formal number. Okay, this is a published formal number, right? In actual fact, you probably want to times 3 of that. Okay, yeah, and then in the this source, yeah, they also show the unemployment rate globally. Yeah, depend on countries. Some countries are as bad as 40-50%. Yeah, some countries are much more better than this, much more better. We are actually, from the formal number perspective, we're actually one of the best. Yeah, very, very low unemployment rate. Okay, but in overall recession, usually it's about 20+ % globally. Okay, yeah, so now let me pull out another poll. Yeah, can I have Chloe, can you help me pull out the polling question, please? All right, when will Malaysia economy start to recover? I'm not say fully normal, yeah, starting to recover. When do you think it will be? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so a lot of people, the sentiments are also 2022. Yeah, some are even saying, wow, about 30+% saying could be later also. All right, so yeah, definitely would love to hear from you later. Yeah, we will off the video recording and then we hear from you. Okay, yeah, so and if I can, that I have seen, yeah, from many talks and from the businesses side or even investment side, yeah, are saying 2022, hopefully 2022 and beyond, right? So for this whole year, this 1 year, we really have to hang on tight. Okay, so now what about the longer term? All right, yeah, so of course, before I come to this, the future trend, yeah, a lot of the conversation was therefore what must we do? Yeah, and one of the key question is we will have to curb our spending lah. Anything that we don't have to spend now, we don't spend now, and continue to build reserve in whatever way possible. Yeah, so that's what we need to be doing. But unfortunately, there are many people on the ground who are very bad in financial planning, very basic financial planning. Yeah, so something that we definitely have to, a lot more things that we have to teach. Yeah, and one of the things that a lot of my clients me is like, how do we make our people more business savvy, yeah, more entrepreneurship and whatever not. And I always say, if they are bad in managing even their personal resources, right? So there is no what do you call that, expenses, investment, yeah, investing in themselves, yeah, and also managing the funds, or creating more funds, creating more income that they have. So no matter what, it will still come back to that basic, the basic things that we must learn. Okay, sorry, I click on the wrong thing. Okay, let me bring out my slide again. Okay. Okay, share. Okay, right. So we are back on. Okay, so now where are the mega trends? So this is where we're going to go into some good news. Well, where are the mega trends? Where are the opportunities? Yeah, and definitely if you can hang on through this period, yeah, in the next 12 months or so, yeah, and start to prepare your business, yeah, and write the mega trend, then the future is definitely in your hands, yeah, in all our hands, yeah. So there are a few things. The entire article, as you can take the QR code, you can download the article to read. Yeah, there is actually a research that is combined by. There's this guy actually, he actually put all together the research from all these. Companies, yeah. So first one is, of course, we're going to look into the shift of economy power. I'm just going to summarize here because you will have access to the article anyway. Yeah. Then the second one is, of course, the climate change, technological breakthrough, yeah, demographic change, rapid urbanization and de-urbanization. Yeah. Therefore, where are the opportunity if you are looking at investment of say property and REITs, right? So and I'm also learning. Yeah, in this room there is actually a guru in investment. Yeah. So which I'm actually learning from him too. Right. So in the first thing, economy shift, yeah. Now there is this huge things what we call the G7, which is the group of seven. Oh, sorry, spelling mistake there. A group of seven. Yeah, this was the previous economy power. Yeah, the US, Germany, yeah, France, Italy, UK, Canada, and Japan. Yeah, and the emerging seven, which is led by China and Russia in collaboration with many other countries like India, Russia, Brazil, Indonesia, Mexico, and Turkey are coming up. Okay, then of course. So if you are doing any business, these are the area you should be focusing on. You are doing any investment, these are the area you should be focusing on. Okay, then of course China driving the Belt Road Initiative, right? In any other projects, yeah, just like any project, there will be challenges. Yeah, sometimes you might have read of some challenges that they are facing, you know, especially during this pandemic period. Yeah, countries and especially the borders of China, India, and stuff like that. Yeah, but I can tell you, when there's a will, there's a way, and countries like China has a huge will. Okay, they will overcome challenges that they need to overcome to make sure this happen. Yeah, and of course Malaysia, we are benefiting from it. Yeah, from the maritime route. Yeah, so there are even huge company has came in, invested with us, and also bring their business, bring their hubs to Malaysia. Yeah, so including especially the space of cloud computing. Yeah, huge players, yeah, global players, they are actually building their hubs already in Malaysia. Yeah, and of course the e-commerce, the global number 2 biggest e-commerce are already in Malaysia in a huge space. And recently one of my friend, I think he probably is in the room, closed a space for them, which is like 300,000 the square footage of a warehouse, you know, for them, yeah, for their distribution centers, yeah, and that is not the first one, yeah, they already invested in other space in Malaysia, yeah, in Klang Valley area and also in Johor area. Okay, so there are huge opportunity, yeah, but is being able to play with the local or the Asia countries. Okay, yeah, and then key questions. Now, the next few slides, when I go through, what I would like you to do is, of course, when you are getting the facts, what you want to be thinking of is that, therefore, what are the opportunity, yeah, that you can see, yeah, from these mega trends. Yeah, for example, when I saw the shift of G7 to E7, I realized that, hey, in terms of investment, where I should be focusing on, in terms of client, in terms of exposure, you know, where we should be focusing on already. Okay, yeah. So second one is climate change. Now, climate change is not just about our Tesla, you know, the e-energy, yeah, green energy, which is number 7. Yeah, climate change has a lot to do with these 3 areas, but first one is on environment. Yeah, and there are many companies, even like, for example, palm oil plantation, one of the most modern palm oil plantation in Malaysia, not Santabi, another one. A lot of plantation and oil and gas company, they are already one of the key metrics in their business is to look at the sustainability scoring. Yeah, and World Economic Forum, the #1 agenda last year is in climate change. Yeah, so in terms of technology-wise, investment-wise, this is the area that is growing. Biden is also another person who really promote and support the environment related type of effort. Okay, so now in terms of businesses, now the way how they focus is this. The first thing is whatever they do, is it sustainable from a environment or the earth perspective? Yeah, Apple recently has shrunk their packaging. You've seen that, yeah, and in the presentation it talks so much about what they are doing to make sure they want to work towards a zero carbon footprint. Yeah, and China is leading in the no poverty area. Is a very good case to actually read about what they have done. Yeah, and of course other areas from people perspective, you have the education, the opportunity, and all other areas. Yeah, then only the profit. Okay, so there are a lot of opportunity here because more companies, even the palm oil plantation area, I've also clients who have shared like there are clients who are willing to pay higher price, yeah, for products that is environmentally safe, okay, or environmental way of doing business. Yeah, so there are opportunity. Yeah, there are. I've met someone who is in the area of packaging. Yeah, and he supply boxes and also your plastic and also the bubbles and all those things. And he also did say that he has clients who are willing to pay higher price for the products that is environmental friendly. Okay, so increasingly you will have a lot more opportunity there too. Okay, now in terms of technological breakthrough, the 8 areas that will continue to change the world is of course these 8 areas. Yeah, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, those are the early years. Yeah, and then of course your robotic, virtual reality, 3D, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, yeah, blockchain, and of course drone. Yeah, augmented reality, it's especially with the face recognition, this has actually increased a lot. Yeah, even a simple company, a FMCG like Amway, they already have a augmented reality app, yeah, where their consumer can download free of charge and scan their face, tell them what is the skin type, and then suggest the products, or even suggest the color and things like that. Yeah, so that is already happening. Yeah, and of course you probably have seen videos of fashion retails or house. There are already sales of property that uses augmented reality. Okay, yeah, then blockchain is a huge, banks are already using it. Yeah, especially in their corporate banking side. Yeah, areas that requires they have to deal with a lot of the legal documents. Yeah, drone in the area of the agriculture, in the area of plantation, they are and even the heavy machinery industry, mining, oil and gas, they are already been using this for many years. Okay, so it's not something new, it's already been there. And because of all these things, the price of creating, yeah, or even prototyping become a lot faster. Yeah, building a factory become a lot faster. Yeah, with virtual reality, and with AI to count or look at what is the best way to place, their equipments or their products, or even township planning is so much more faster. Last time you have to go back to drawing board, you have the architect, and then you have all other engineers and whoever, and come back to you, and then therefore come back with the pricing. Yeah, but with all this technology, immediately you can move whatever equipment you want to move, and therefore what is the cost save, you can get immediate calculation. Yeah, but what I want to bring to your awareness is not this. Yeah, I mean, these are tools. Yeah, these are technology tools. What I want to bring to your awareness is the brain behind the tools. Okay, this will continue to increase. Now, AI was started by, of course, learning how humans think. Yeah, so at first it was very much of monkey in, monkey data in, then you got monkey data out. So it give you the right answer or predict what it would be a better answer. Okay, then But if we look at the way how human brain works, yeah, whatever sensory motors, that we have, we collect information, and our brain has this part called the mind, which is the subconscious mind, yeah, and 80-90% of the way we believe certain things, behave, yeah, the way who we are, has to do with our mind, yeah, and when our brain, our mind decipher information and give value to a certain information that is being received by our sensory motors, yeah, then it will will give instruction to our muscle and say, okay, do this, do that, yeah. So the ultimately it will be like to kill something, to hunt down something, or to produce, yeah, to make something grow. Okay, so in terms of AI, has already grown into that. Yeah, it has already not just predict, but it's also been able to execute, yeah, whatever decisions that they have deemed as a better choice. Okay, now the newer level of AI is already gone into the genetic level, yeah, and based on the way how genetic works, yeah, where they will test all scenario and find the best algorithm and will use that, yeah, and so the older version will be discarded. Okay, and they continue to do it by themselves. That means they will continue to look for new information. When they have new information come in, they will continue to look at what would be a better way, yeah, what would be a better results, yeah, based on the outcome they are looking for. All right, so in our this vaccine, yeah, why our vaccine are so fast? There are two factors. One is, of course, AI has already gone into a very advanced level. The second thing is also because there are a lot of infections, so which also means that the scientists, they are able to get a lot of data to test, yeah, and it's across different ethnic, yeah, across different countries. Yeah, so rather than the flu is only a few thousand people, then you have to wait until you actually have infected case, and then only you get the testing, and then you also have to get agreement from your patient to actually be tested. Okay, so that's why the virus, the vaccine can be whatever created so fast this time. Okay, now the fourth one is, of course, demographic shift. Yeah, and of course just now we already say that Asia is the way to go, and the other one is also in a longer term, all the way to 2000, the global population will likely decrease. Yeah, but most of us, we won't live so long, I think. All right, so that will be another 80 years. Okay, yeah, so if we look at the next 10 to 20 years, that's like 2023, 2030, and 2040. Yeah, so the Asia side will continue to grow. Yeah, for Europe and the North America area are still the similar trend. Yeah, and of course globally the world population will continue to grow. Yeah, so if your business are focusing in the Asia markets, yeah, so you will still be gaining on the rise lah. Okay, but one of the key opportunity that's coming up is actually South Africa. Yeah, in Africa. Yeah, and particularly, yeah, if you look at population wise, yeah, India is going to be more than China. Yeah, but China will be still among the top three. And but one of the emerging markets is actually the Nigeria side. Yeah, from a population, yeah, perspective. Yeah, so from your consumerism, your spending, and all those perspectives. Okay, right. So rapid urbanization and deurbanization. Now, some of the areas, cities are shrinking, yeah, especially in the west. Yeah, but some areas in the west, and of course some of the developed countries, Japan is another one. Yeah, due to the fertility level rate has dropped, and of course the job migration, and of course due to technology, more people can work remotely. But there is also areas that will continue to grow. Yeah, and of course China, Singapore, and I always say Singapore spill over to Malaysia lah. So Malaysia, despite the politics, just wait for a while lah. Probably in the 6 months time or 12 months time, then it will turn. Yeah, so a lot of foreign investors definitely have confidence in Malaysia, but not now only. Yeah, so if now here, internal household issue, then go somewhere else first lah. All right. Yeah. So now, so for you, What do you think, right? Where are the opportunities that you can see, and of course, based on the experiences and the exposure that you have, what are the key opportunity you can see in the future trend? I'd like to hear from you. Okay, can you key into the chat, please? Okay, what are the future opportunity? Anyone? Seems hard to predict, yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, in every of these, and we don't have to focus on all of this. It really depends on which industry you are from, yeah. And there is always opportunity in time of crisis, in time of risk. There's always what solutions we can bring, yeah. And from here, you can already see there are. Looks like everything is good, yet everything seems favor big player. Yeah, it looks like that too. Yeah. Then the question is, what can we small player do? Yeah, there will always be area, and even in this, right? Yeah, it still requires a lot of people to learn, yeah, new skills, new way, new mindset, yeah, new way of looking at things. Yeah, therefore, what we can do? Okay, shift of power, borderless. Fantastic, spot on. Invest in China stock, yes, yeah. But we care lah, because the whatever US decided to do with them, on them, that will create, the short-term volatility. Yeah, business, posing, yeah. Yeah, in the business of automation, yeah, you will know this area more than me. Yeah, so on climate change, offer alternatives that has a minimum environmental footprint, definitely. Yeah, and especially in the those who are in oil and gas or the plantation area, yeah, in agriculture area, those are the huge agenda, yeah, the major agenda that they are looking into, yeah, and not just because of them, but the global leaders are driving that. Now, when I say global leaders, these are the world leaders who actually contributes in the World Economic Forum. It cut across three groups. One is the political leaders, but they are very much influenced by the corporate leaders, yeah, your mega business owners, yeah, and what they are driving, the agenda they are driving, yeah. So, and I always tell people, don't look at the business size that they brought in. Yeah, some people will say, oh, Bill Gates make a lot of money, they should give more money and help people. Then again, this question, do you know the philanthropy work that he is involved in? Do you know the type of results, in the philanthropy work that he has created or brought in the last 10 years or more, right? And they also measure, they don't just give money to people, to help charity in that way, but they actually bring down major numbers. Yeah, for example, like the infancy, death of the infancy, yeah, drug issues and things like that. Yeah, so they actually created a lot of impact too. Yeah, of course you have the opportunities, but where do we want to focus our eyes on? Yeah, and therefore where do we want to play? Yeah, which area we want to follow and which area we want to play? Yeah, so in the world, I always say there are good people, bad people lah. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to follow? Okay. Yeah, so more remote work, yeah, will happen due to technological breakthrough, yes. Yeah, and even companies like Google has stopped their leasing in areas like even Dubai. Yeah, so and also of course a few major city areas, yeah, in the in US, yeah, but of course they continue leasing in other areas. Yeah, so so what about Singapore? Right? Yeah, so as a small country, yeah, what do you think is the opportunity there? Do you think the property there will continue to rise? Do you think property in Malaysia, will come back? Now there's a lot of cheap sales, yeah, a lot of discounted rate, yeah, but do invest with care. Yeah, some other areas will come back, but not every area will come back. Yeah, so that's what I would see, but definitely now is a lot of cheap sales, and increasingly I'm seeing more properties in the Damansara and this Damansara area, yeah, this PJ uptown areas. You know, there are more auctions of property of the beyond $1 million, yeah. So which means there are more business owners are letting go of their properties too, yeah. So this is in any economy cycle, there are a few phases we will be looking at, yeah. And one of the key one, you know, I always say, I learned from a mentor is that if you haven't seen blood on the street yet, now blood on the street means people taking their life because of they lost money or whatever not, yeah. And you will see that happening. You will see more auction coming up, but you will see huge auction coming up. Yeah, it's, in the beginning will be the lower level auctions first, but increasingly there will be the more expensive auctions will start coming in. When that start happening, you know that the economy is getting to the peak. Yeah, and before it start to start the recovery journey. Okay, yeah. So do keep a watch, yeah, keep an eye to watch out. Yeah, now what about industry 4.0? Yeah, because even with this pandemic, yeah, of course a lot of people are busy with this pandemic thing, and Malaysia busy talking about politics also. Yeah, there are this drive towards industry 4.0 has actually speed up a lot. Yeah, and there has been many conversations by Gartner and by McKinsey and the consulting firm, big huge corporate, about their effort in this. Yeah, they are really looking at areas that they will spend on. They are also really looking at areas that projects they will cut back. Yeah, so not all projects will be stopped. Yeah, there are certain projects they actually speed up. Yeah, so you probably have experienced some of your bank experience. You know, some of, you know, last time they make you have to go to the bank for certain transaction, yeah, but now they'll say no worries, it will come to you. Okay, so some of them are actually taking aggressive effort to make the change that they need to change now. Okay, yeah, so of course during this pandemic period, yeah, most of us would have experienced this, like automation, yeah, work from home, social distancing, yeah, tech, yeah, a lot of things are tech based now. Yeah, urban migration, yeah, there are more and more people actually leaving town, yeah, and go back home, you know, conserve and whatever not, but also being able to there are also a group of people who are able to bring work home. Yeah, there is a very small percentage of people who can work from home with, you know, Zoom and whatever not, yeah, and largely you still have the workers, yeah, when they have no job, they have no job. Yeah, so of course e-commerce spike up, yeah, and of course this whole health thing, you know, people are beginning to be more aware of their health, you know, then they are more flexible in their diet, you know, take more veggie, you know, I'm one of them. Last time I don't like veggie. Okay, yeah, then of course this whole area of education, which is a huge question mark. Yeah, so of course immediately we can see students are being affected, but in the higher level institution education, yeah, there is also predictions that there will be less people who would want to take that, you know, in the longer term future, yeah, and moving towards more skills based or certification based, yeah, and there is many other ways that you can actually get your degree, even PhD, yeah, without going through the brick and mortar university, but still get your Harvard University degree and your MIT degree via online. Yeah, so one of the site is like EDX, yeah, where you have renowned this university where they collaborate together, yeah, and students who actually took their subjects, you know, can be across a few this university, yeah, but as long as they meet the requirement of the subjects and also the credit hours, yeah, and also the projects, yeah, and then they will actually be awarded with the degree, yeah, the degree or the whichever level that they go for. Okay, so industrial revolution. Now, before I go into this, yeah, just a quick questions. Now, how many of you, if somebody were to ask you, hey, what exactly is this industrial revolution 4.0? Yeah, how many of you can say that, hey, I actually can explain that to them? yeah, can confidently say that, yeah, I know what is Industry Revolution and also Industry Revolution 4.0. If you can confidently explain that, yeah, can you click a yes? Yeah, if you can't, you say no. And why? Yeah, and or why? Yes or no? Boleh lah. Yeah, and I'll share with you also my what do you call it, my experience, yeah, with the clients that I've run, especially in the banking industry, because I've done like, I think about 2,000 more participants. Yeah, I asked them to refer to 4.0. Thank you, John. Yeah, so yeah, over the last few months when I was doing these webinar sessions, many sessions with a few banks, yeah, there are about 2,000 over participants so far. And I always ask them this question: what exactly is Industry Revolution 4.0? Can you explain to somebody or not? Yeah, and I can tell you all the way from senior level. Yeah, some of them are at the top group, and some of them are at the middle level, and of course the other levels. Even at the senior level, the top management level, only less than 10% says that they can confidently explain what exactly is Industry Revolution 4.0 and how digital transformation is moving, pushing that, escalating that. Okay, so I'll just give a very quick overview, yeah, and I'm sure a lot of you here are already say yes, boleh lah, can, okay. So now revolution has always been in the human's life, yeah, ever since life exists, yeah, and human always look for ways to become better, produce things in a faster way, in an easier way, yeah, even all the way back to Stone Age, stone become sharpened, they sharpen the stone, and then later on they found the bronze way to do it. Then of course industrial revolution started in about 300 plus years ago, yeah, when steam engine, water engine, power was being invented, yeah. So then replace the human and horse muscle or animal muscles, yeah. So then later on, about 100 years later, the electricity was being founded, yeah. Then of course the invention of rail, yeah, train, railroads, and telephone, yeah. Then of course the spreading of industrialization become faster, yeah, and that was the years where you have more factories, and not just one factory but factories, company that can build their factories in many locations, yeah. Then it boomed, yeah, it grew, yeah. Then of course we have the digital age, yeah. I still remember the early years when I started to go into uni, the decision between a computer, electronic typewriter, or a classical typewriter. Okay, computer was so expensive then. Okay, so those were the years, yeah. So then, of course, that's where we have what we call the internet age, or what we call the information age. Yeah, information was then the king. Yeah, and of course now we know information is nothing lah. You know how to use it lah. Okay, then of course we are moving into this thing called the smart age. Yeah, 4.0 it only coined about 10 years ago. Yeah, and we are still in the early stage. Okay, what is typewriter? That's a good one. I will give you a picture. Okay, so what exactly is Industry Revolution 4.0? I'll just play a video for you. Yeah, a quick summary. This is actually from World Economic Forum.
It was in these Swiss mountains that the world was first introduced to the phrase the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and it's been a hot topic among academics, politicians, and business leaders ever since. But what exactly does it mean? The term Fourth Industrial Revolution was coined by the founder of the World Economic Forum, a former professor named Klaus Schwab. Schwab wrote a book with that title to describe an era marked by a technological revolution that is blurring the lines between the physical, digital, and biological spheres. Let's break that down. Technologies like artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, or the Internet of Things are becoming ingrained in our day-to-day lives and even our bodies. Think of voice-activated virtual assistants, Face ID recognition, or healthcare sensors. Schwab first presented his vision of the Fourth Industrial Revolution at the World Economic Forum's annual meeting here in Davos in 2016. But to understand the idea, we need to go much further back in history, to Industrial Revolution number 1. The first Industrial Revolution started in Great Britain around 1760 and spread to Europe and North America through the early 1800s. It was powered by a major invention, the steam engine. The result? New manufacturing processes, the creation of factories, and a booming textiles industry. From the late 1800s, the second industrial revolution was marked by mass production and new industries like steel, oil, and electricity. The light bulb, telephone, and internal combustion engine were a few of the major inventions of this era. The third industrial revolution, sometimes known as the digital revolution, occurred in the second half of the 20th century. In just a few decades, we saw the invention of the semiconductor, personal computer, and the internet. So what separates the fourth industrial revolution from the third? Experts say the main difference is that technology is merging more and more with humans' lives, and that technological change is happening faster than ever. Consider this. It took 75 years for 100 million users to adopt the telephone. Instagram signed up 100 million users in just 2 years, while Pokemon Go caught that amount in 1 month. 3D printing is just one example of fast-paced technology in the fourth industrial revolution. The industry has gone from a business idea to big business, with 3D printer shipments expected to increase from just under 200,000 in 2015 to 2.4 million in 2020. Today, you can have a hip replacement from a 3D printed bone, or use a 3D printed bionic arm. Talk about blurring the line between humans and technology, right? This new era of technology is driving a lot of innovation. You can see in this chart the number of patents related to the fourth industrial revolution for things like 3D printing or AI has been climbing up and up since early 2000. Organizations are embracing new technologies to make their businesses more efficient, similar to how they embraced the steam engine during the first industrial revolution. But some companies and governments are struggling to keep up with the fast pace of technological change. Research shows innovators, investors, and shareholders benefit the most from innovation. The risk is that the fourth industrial revolution is making inequality, which is already a big issue, even worse. One study found billionaires have driven almost 80% of the 40 main breakthrough innovations over the last 40 years. That's a problem when the richest 1% of households already own nearly half of the world's wealth. Experts warn we are in a winner-takes-all economy, where high-skilled workers are rewarded with high pay and the rest of workers are left out. Studies confirm technologies like AI will eliminate some jobs and create demand for new skills that many workers don't have. Privacy concerns are another issue as the fourth industrial revolution turns every company into a tech company. Industries from food to retail to banking are going digital, and they're collecting a lot more data about their customers along the way. Users are starting to worry that companies know too much about their private digital lives. The World Economic Forum says a majority of leaders don't have confidence their organizations are ready for the changes associated with the fourth industrial revolution. With tech changing fast every day, it's time to catch up.
Okay.
Hey everyone, Elizabeth here in Davos, Switzerland. Be sure to check out our... It was in these...
Okay, so now, Industry 4.0, we are still in the very early stage, and the very simple layman way of differentiating between 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0 is this. 2.0, if you are still using paper and pencil, okay? 3.0 is when you already go into digital, yeah, but your digital technology might not be talking to each other yet. Yeah, 4.0 is where your digital technologies, and your data are already talking to each other, yeah, via cloud, yeah, and you can already make decisions or have real-time data on your mobile or on your whichever working devices that you have now immediately. Yeah, data from all over the world. Yeah, could be at the other part of the world. Yeah, and of course 4.0 also means that your technology are already making decisions. Yeah, and executing decisions by itself, yeah, of course, based on rules and that you have built into it, yeah, and of course rules that you allow them to continue to evolve and grow by itself. Okay, so that's what 4.0 is about. And the 4.0, we haven't seen the peak yet. We are still in the early stage. It will continue to change the human life, yeah, our work, our businesses, and the way we interact and all those things, yeah. And throughout history, yeah, in the past, innovation, the peak of innovation always happens during the economy downturns, yeah, during recessions time, yeah, when people are desperate, they are looking for ways, that is where more innovations will happen, yeah. So won't be surprised in the next next 2 years, 3 years, yeah, even next 4 years or so, there is going to be a lot more new things that you're going to see, or the way how we do business, the area of our businesses, or even life or work will continue to evolve. Yeah, so these questions of how do we get ahead, yeah, we have no choice but to continue to observe what is happening, yeah, and continue to evolve with what is happening, yeah, and we are in an era that is evolving a lot more faster than last time, yeah, because again, I mentioned earlier, yeah, we are because there are so many parties now, they can actually create whatever they want to create. It doesn't matter you have a degree or not, you are a scientist or not. Okay, so there are many things that will continue to change. Okay, now if you have a company, if you run a team, yeah, if you're working in a company, so what about your team? How do you what do you call that? How do you prepare them? How do you make them become more agile and continue to evolve, yeah, with what is happening now? Now, from a technological point of view, in the past, yeah, company are very fixed, yeah, and a lot of the internal application I need my IT guy to help, configure it for my department. Yeah, very slow. Process is very slow. The future of way, is really about self-serve. Yeah, one type of say your ERP system, your HR system, your financial system, yeah, or whichever system they have. Yeah, everybody in all your business channel, they use the same. Yeah, so very minimal customization or even none. Okay, yeah, and of course from corporate design and people culture perspective, in the past it was very functional based. Yeah, and the future, which also means now, yeah, is integrated across functions. Yeah, and one of the very good case study you can actually Google is by this DBS. Yeah, the way how they actually have transformed themselves even since 8 years ago. Yeah, 8 years they have already started the journey, and there are many business like Harvard Business School, yeah, McKinsey, yeah, and a lot of consulting firms actually use them as a case study also. And what they have done is in the early stage, yeah, Piyush Gupta, I'm so glad to actually have an opportunity to work under him before. In a bank many years ago, in another bank before he went over to DBS. Yeah, in the beginning, before he actually looked into digital transformation for the bank, what he did was he actually bring the core team, the committee, and they actually went visit and studied the technology company like Apple, yeah, Amazon, yeah, Facebook, Microsoft, Alibaba, and look at how do they manage their business, their client, and because their models are different from the banking industry, but that's the way of digital, yeah, of the future life of business world already. Yeah, and he did also make a statement and says that the future of banking is no longer bank. Yeah, it's really a technology company. The technology is running behind. Yeah, a lot of area, and to be able to do that, your organization and people need to have a all-rounder. Yeah, and recently I did a project with with a client, and one of the key things we also noticed that they have great talent in their company, but one of the they just need to do one thing, one additional thing, which is allowing their team members, yeah, to participate in projects that requires them to work with different team members from across different functions, yeah, like your sales, your operation, and your fulfillment or whichever, yeah, and to come and come together to solve problems together, yeah, or to look at the way forward together, yeah, and they create teams, yeah, to be able that they are able to be able to do that. Yeah, some of you are familiar with this word called hackathon. Yeah, so yeah, create a lot of that for your team to be able to participate. That's how you escalate the all well-roundedness and the bird eye view. Yeah, so the future of skills is this: we need to be a all-rounder, but at the same time we also need to have our area that we are specializers, we are specialists in. So we can no longer be a specialist, a functional specialist, without that all-rounded mindset and understanding, yeah, of the entire ecosystem of the company, yeah, and also ecosystem of the company with the bigger environment, the macro economy. Okay, so if you're looking into your pipeline development, these are the areas that we should be looking at. Yeah, and in terms of process, yeah, last time is one department sign off, it's your problem already. Yeah, but the new business way is if there's issues that's faced in the front, yeah, in your sales side, it is a shared responsibility all the way to the back. Everybody comes together and solve problems together. Yeah, so it's no longer, hey, I pass it to you already, you sign already, or it's no longer my problem. Yeah, so it's no longer like that. Yeah, and of course, tasks that is repetitive, decisions that is repetitive is automated. Yeah, so you that actually take away a lot of jobs. Yeah, and but also create a lot more time and resources for us to actually focus on the two levels. One is the higher level of overview, the whole architecturing your solutions, and of course you also still need people hands and leg on the ground, yeah, for your day-to-day execution. Okay, then of course collaboration. Yeah, last time there's a huge separation of your front end, mid or back. Yeah, and there's always this argument of like profit making department and non-revenue generating department. But the new way of business is everyone is what they call involved. Yeah, so which also means your team members are very much being informed of the business. Yeah, where is it going, where is it now, so they know that their performance, yeah, and even their contribution, are they contributing, is it how is it affecting the overall result of the company. Yeah, so organizations like the global banks, yeah, are very good in doing this. They have quarterly updates with their staff, to talk about the numbers, where is it now, and what the company and also the employees need to focus on, to ensure they meet the numbers that they are looking at. Yeah, and most of the time town halls like that would have already been they already have this town hall before the numbers are being what do you call that, come out to the public. Yeah, so what about people? Yeah, from a people perspective, of course, if you Google, World Economic Forum, or even McKinsey or whoever, yeah, World Economic Forum especially, because they collect from the leaders of the world, right? And there is a list of like what are the skill set of the future, and if you read into the list, it looks like not too different from the past, right? We are still like decision making. Some of the rank has increased and dropped. Yeah, but someone actually summarizes it. Yeah, I would like to just share this. First one is of course having this all-rounded mindset, yeah, to be able to understand the ecosystem of the entire company, yeah, how the various department works, and also the company to the industry and the global economy. Okay, yeah, and when your employees are able to understand that and appreciate that and link that back to their personal needs and want and wish list, especially when it comes to their salary, promotion, and whatever, and performance, right? You are able to create a stronger why behind. Okay, yeah. Then the other one is analytical skill. It's no longer just about mathematics and whatever not, but it's also being able to know where are the areas that you can find your solutions. Yeah, you don't have to be the one who knows the solutions, but you need to know the network of people, yeah, or areas that you can actually reach out to look for solutions. Yeah, so the one of the way, a lot of my participants will ask like, how do I grow? How do I change my mind? How do I become a growth mindset? And I always say this: our mind is just like a, say, cup of water or whatever that is in our mind. Yeah, a container. Our knowledge is as similar to the content in the container. Okay, but if we do not have external input, no matter how much we sit and mantra, we can never grow. Okay, the only way we can grow is when we have perspective that challenges us. Yeah, people that culture or department or different field that make us go like, sure, and cause us to rethink of our thoughts, of our belief. Yeah, and it doesn't mean that we must accept foreign what do you call idea all the time. Yeah, it will mean that it actually help us to rethink about our thoughts, yeah, or our decision, or our what do you call it, our thinking. Yeah, that's how we actually continue to grow our analytical and critical mind. Okay, so being able to ask the right questions, yeah, powerful, they are tons of great books on that. Great leaders are leaders who ask great questions. Yeah. So then, of course, the people skills. Yeah, and this is also another huge area. When technology take over a lot of technical job, so what happens to human? Yeah, and one of the key area, remember the sustainability. Yeah, you have environment, you also have people. Yeah, and people. This what they call psychological mental health are deteriorating. Yeah, so there are a lot of work to be done. Yeah, so if you are in the area of wellness, and I encourage you to also cross over to how wellness will apply to a corporate environment. Yeah, which also means P&L. Yeah, so if it is P&L is something that you fear, then that's what you should be learning. Yeah, so and of course vice versa. Yeah, if you are all about technology and all those things, you know, you fear people skills, what is this wellness and all those things. So this is the area where you need to expose yourself. And it doesn't mean that you get involved in the job. Yeah, it could mean that the reading that you do, yeah, or the movie type that you choose, okay, to expand your perspective. Yeah, and people skills, you know, the higher level of even the work that I do, you know, in succession planning of C-suite. Usually it is the one who are very good in people skills, they eventually become great leaders. Yeah, and they don't necessarily has to be the one who talk the most. Yeah, and some of them are actually very quiet. Yeah, and they are super good listener, and they can connect to people at the emotion level. Yeah, on top of looking at the numbers and the results. Okay, then agility is all about get ourselves out there, try the new things, yeah, get involved into project teams. I always tell, you know, especially employees, you know, throw yourself into project team, even though you are not too sure, you know, as long as the door is open, you know, go into it. Yeah, one of the things Piyush Gupta did very well in DBS, which in the past, you know, the other bank that we also was, you know, in, yeah, that grew very fast compared to other banks, is because we have a lot of small teams, yeah, and people just come together. You know, we give them basic skills. It could be basic skills like customer journey mapping, yeah, or agile training, yeah, and give them that basic know-how in terms of how to understand a problem, how to solve for solutions, yeah, how to come up with plans, action plans, and how to monitor the plan and eventually really execute it and create results. Yeah, and when your people or even you and me get involved in projects like this, it will definitely escalate, yeah, or grow, yeah, our mindset, our growth, our agility, yeah, because we work beyond just our department or our field that we are familiar with. Okay, so and I only have about 20 minutes. Yeah, I still have quite a number of slides to go, but I'll just go through now. So there is a very good book, yeah, even up to today it is still relevant. Yeah, and one of the questions that a lot of my clients ask is like, Suzy, how do we lead in a turbulence time? Now in this book, Jim Collins, he actually he spent many years going through 2,000 over companies, yeah, sweeping through, and then look at how company who has been around for 100 over years, yeah, and some of them more than 50 over years, yeah, and how they continue to grow, yeah, and 10 times more than the average, yeah, of their peers, yeah, and of course it doesn't mean that they didn't go through challenges. Yeah, some companies they do go through challenges, but they continue to grow through the throughout the years, yeah, throughout the many years, yeah. So this is a book that has been around for many years. I think about 15 years, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and one of the things, you know, which is still very much relevant when I see what is happening today is this. Yeah, the 10Xs, people who grow 10 times more. Yeah, they acknowledge that there are uncertainty around them. Yeah, like what we are experiencing now, which is totally not in our control. Okay, for example, the politics. Yeah, a lot of people ask me, what do you think? I say, not in my control, so why bother? Okay, so, and the thing is this, they reject the idea that the forces outside them determines their result. Okay, so yes, the forces outside will affect our result. Yeah, will stop certain business opportunity, will kill certain business area and things like that. Yeah, but the ultimate result, they do not allow that to continue to harm them. Okay, so what do? They take full ownership. So what does it mean? Yeah, so they chose to be great. Now this is a character. Yeah, and great, what it means is this: they make conscious decision, conscious choice that it is in their own self and ability, they can discipline, they can learn and discipline themselves despite the uncertainty and unknown circumstances around them. Okay, now, so there are a few things that we need to do to be able to do that lah, right? First thing is, of course, they have compelling reason, yeah, which come down to what do you need for your survival, right? So they face the brutal truth, yeah. If they know that certain areas they need to cut off, they cut off. They know certain areas they have to stop or need to learn, yeah. They do that, right? They face the real truth rather than blame what is happening in the environment or situation around them. Okay, they look into themselves. They take control of their thoughts. Yeah, this is very powerful because 80-90% of success and whatever we can do to break through, go through, whatever, get ahead, it comes from here. Right? So what they do, they are very careful with who they associate with, what they are listening, what they are watching, what they are reading. Yeah, so same thing. There are many comments and discussion that's going around, especially in the internet of world today, right? There are so many, Zoom talks, discussion from the Zoom to your chat and all those things. So what do we choose to indulge in and not indulge in? It will continue to build this character, yeah, of us, which also contributes to the choices we're going to make and also the discipline that we hold. Yeah, so, and of course, third one is they do what they must, even though when they do not like it. Yeah, and they do what they must when they know that it is required to get to where they want. Okay, so this is one element which is very much we did not say a lot of this, in the before the pandemic. It's all about, go to the area of your passion, love what you do, what you love, it's a lot of love, but then they talk about, hey, what you need to handle. So even though we don't like it, okay, yeah, so it's a conversations that we definitely need to have more, with our people and of course with ourselves too. Okay, yeah, so what are the 3 ways, how do we help our organization grow than our team? First thing is have the right people. And of course, the first thing is, are we ourselves the right people, right? So in hiring or selecting your right people, you will be looking for people who are disciplined, yeah, in their own life, yeah, in the way, I always say 3 things are, there are only 3 most important things in our life, health, relationship, and wealth as in the way we manage our resources and including this resource. Okay, yeah, so the type of conversations they have, discussion they have, you already know, are they a person of discipline who are in control of who they want to be, yeah? So, and in hiring, we are also looking at, forget about, you got a job for the person or not, yeah? And in the past, in the organization, of course, we have structure, we have some of the position in the field, but sometimes when we met really good talent, when we don't even have a role yet, we actually create roles for them. Okay, yeah, I personally have experienced that too. Yeah, I have also have individuals, have great partners that when I vouch for certain talent and I say, you know what, this girl, fantastic, I will vouch for her. She might not be, she's a rough diamond. She's not a diamond today, take her in. And today I've seen, and some of them, the way how they have grown, yeah, to leadership positions, yeah, taking on projects and things like that. Yeah, so sometimes it's when you see the right person, grab them first, then create jobs, create projects, and most of the time these are the individuals, they are well-read. Yeah, I'm not talking about having your degree and your certification. I'm saying they continue to learn, yeah, and they are continue to expose themselves, to different perspectives, challenge themselves, learn and all these things. They are disciplined in their life, yeah, and things like that. Okay. Then the second one is face the brutal truth. Yeah, whatever that we need to handle in the company. Yeah, there are certain conversations, certain decisions which is going to be the bad apple. Yeah, or what we say, the things is going to deteriorate the whole growth, yeah, or the culture. Yeah, so if we have to handle, we have to handle first. Yeah, and of course it also will affect the way how an organization think. Yeah, so how do we address the issue? So if even handling performance, yeah, it's not just performance issue. Performance issues is the easier thing to handle, but the character issues is the harder thing to handle. Okay, yeah. So especially you have performance by bad character. What do you do? Okay, so you need to know from a longer perspective, what do you want to be focusing on? Yeah, and of course focus on that. And very often there's only this one thing that we need to handle, and by handling it, then a lot of other things is either become easy or don't even need to do already. Yeah, so that's what it means by handle the brutal truth. Yeah, same thing in our personal life. Yeah, this is not just applied to the corporate world, but even in our own business, in our own personal life, is the same thing. All right, so be the right person, handle the brutal truth of our life. Then of course build the right culture, build discipline. Yeah, wealth from resources, from monetary perspective, and also from a being perspective, is all about the discipline of choosing to do the right thing. Yeah, focus on exposing ourselves to the right environment, right inputs. Yeah, and where does technology comes in? Technology, digital is an enabler. Yeah, so the organizations that's going through digital transformation they don't start with technology first. They will always start with, what do we aim to achieve? Who are the clientele sectors that we are aiming to grow? Yeah, and how do we want to serve them? Then only they go back and look at, okay, which is the technology is going to help us there, then we adopt. Okay, yeah. So, and of course then the questions, back to you, 1, 2, 3, which is the one that you felt you need to strengthen in your team? One, having the right people, handle the right people portion. Yeah, or there are some issues that you felt is already burning in the back of your head, yeah, and you have to handle. Okay, or is it the culture? Yeah, so which is the growth, yeah, discipline of doing the right thing, yeah, having the right performance criteria, yeah, having the discipline of tracking what do you call that, the activities, and of course celebrate wins. Yeah, nothing beats having a positive, upbeat, celebrating type of environment, because that's where we grow the fastest. Okay, yeah, due to time, I won't wait for your answer. I'll just go through, yeah, because there's one more portion, which is human being. So there's huge questions then, therefore, what about discipline? Now discipline, this is, I explain a lot deeper in my book. Discipline, at the end of the day, motivation, yeah, motivation is a form of energy, correct or not? It's a emotion, correct or not? Right? So a lot of people will say, I don't have the mood, or I'll wait until I feel more comfortable, then I start doing something. I'll wait for the right mood, right timing. Is all mood lah. It's all emotion. Now, emotion is actually a combination of energy and motion. Yeah, motion is action, right? So energy, what about energy, right? Now, if we look into the law of thermodynamic, energy cannot be created or destroyed in an isolated system. So human being is an isolated system, yeah, in the entire ecosystem of the world, yeah, of nature, right? And we have energy. Where do we draw our energy from? Yeah, from the way we think. The way we think comes from what we put into our mind, right? From the environment that we are in, people that we're with, yeah. And we always say, be in the right environment, yeah. So that's energy. When we die, we gave our energy or not. The energy doesn't die with us, yeah. When we die, yeah, we either, if it is animal kingdom or plants or whatever, they decompose, someone eat them out and then gain more energy. So energy transfer into other forms. Okay, so therefore energy is actually life. Okay, so now what does it mean? Yeah, Isaac Newton says every object that remain constant, stay at rest, or in a uniform motion. So if you're used to do something very familiar already, yeah, in a straight line order, very familiar, we call it comfort zone. We can only change when we are only compelled to change its state by action of an external factor. Okay, so that's the reason why innovation happens at the highest, at the peak, during recessions. Yeah, people start to change during this time. Yeah, a lot of us, even the last one whole year, we changed so many things in our life. Yeah, it could be the way of our relationship, yeah, the way of our health, yeah, or even the way how we approach resources. Yeah, so then therefore, what does it mean? Humans are a subset of the nature. Yeah, nature has so many other systems. Yeah, and human being is just one of them, right? So nature can have us or not having us, right? So what it means is this: we cannot break the nature's law. There are some laws we have to what do you call it? We just have to adopt it, leave it. Yeah, if we try to break it, we break ourselves against it. And that's the reason why great leaders, they know that there are certain things when they have to do, they will do it, even though sometimes they don't feel like doing it. Yeah, it's just like people who are healthy. Sometimes we don't feel like exercise, we still go exercise because we want the result. Okay, I know some of my friends here are very, very good in those areas. Now, so what is therefore the three natural purpose of human being? First one, it comes with our birthright. Yeah, if you are born as a king, you're born as a son or a daughter of a king, you will be prepared for the role, right? So and all of us here, we are born, to our family members, to our parents, our clans. Yeah, what we want is, of course, we want to continue to uphold our family names, right? So there are certain things that we need to do, as a children, child to our parents. Yeah, as if you're married, and of course, as a naturally as a parents to your children, yeah, and things like that. These are like, you like it or not, if you are born with it or you choose to give birth to somebody, it comes with you, right? So there are responsibilities, yeah, there are purposes, right? So those are the most basic. The second one is, of course, we honor our agreement. Yeah, agreements like marriage or business agreement, we decided to partner with somebody. Yeah, there are certain roles that we need to play, to live up, and to honor that agreement. Yeah, and of course we know that agreement can also be broken. Yeah, sometimes when the vision is no longer the same, and there is ways we can actually do it amicably, right? Then of course the third one is what we call the calling. Now, unfortunately, most people will be thinking like, I don't know what's my calling. And in fact, even Mother Teresa also says, at her later stage, she also said, I don't know my calling. I just know that when I heard the voice of God, to go and do something, I just go and do it, right? So a calling is really about answering a call. Someone see that you're good in something, they invite you and say, can you help out in this? And you feel that in your resources and your energy, and of course the energy is right, you feel that you can do it, you do it, yeah. And as you do it, you grow, yeah. And that's how Mother Teresa, from a humble nun, yeah, eventually grew, and eventually, so we always look at great leaders as like, wow, they are so great, they are what do you call it, they earn a lot of money or whatever. I always say they all of them has the humble beginning, and it's always like one day at a step, and choosing to do the right thing, yeah, to get to where they are today, right? So, and coming back to human, we have our basic need, yeah, health. Chinese has a very nice way of putting it. It's called health, relationship, and wealth. Okay, so basic need is food on the table. Yeah, so if our business are affected, if our income are affected or going to be affected, yeah, if we involve in transformation and you know that you're just going to be, what do you call that, affected, yeah, so do something about it now before it happen, right? Have a plan B, yeah. So and that's what it means. Yeah, health is not just your physical but also your mental health. Yeah, and then the whole relational area. Yeah, who we want to be belong to, to be accepted. Yeah, and those are the areas. And then finally only the wealth, the growth side, the contribution, the charity. Now in the past, before the pandemic, yeah, and even now, some of the conversation I'm hearing is that, oh, we do something that we like, and to pass the time, so they focus on the wealth. Yeah, the self-fulfilling area, actualization area, but the lower level is affected and they are not facing it. All right, and Maslow hierarchy, Abraham Maslow actually said this also. If our lower level of needs is not handled, not built, yeah, if it is shaken and we focus on the higher level, it will collapse. Yeah, it will be short-lived, it will be just surface. Okay, yeah, and it will eventually still collapse. That is the reason why deterioration continue to happen. Yeah, depression and all those things, because yeah, you're happy outside and in the social media, but then at the back home, the basic area are affected, right? So therefore what we should be doing, yeah, growing our people to take ownership of their own life, yeah, of their actual situation, and create solutions. Yeah, and in terms of relationship, to strengthen relationship is all about character, virtue. And in my book I actually write about the 4 key virtues that has been around. I mean, since Socrates, Plato's time, they already talk about it, all the way up to it is still the same virtue issues we are talking about. Yeah, then of course wealth is it's not just money, but it's also the being that we want to become. Yeah, and when we are able to have the first two fulfilled, yeah, then we will be able to reach out. Yeah, so if charity but poor, I can tell you it's surface. But if you are already, wealth and relationship, you are already, grow, fulfilled, that needs are already fulfilled, right? So your giving, your wealth and all those things, it becomes what do you call that, elevating, right? So coming back to areas that we need to handle, this is where the brutal truth comes in. Yeah, so same thing, organization, disengagement in the company is not because there's no love, there's no flowers and sweets and whatever not, but very often it comes back to the needs, which are the needs are actually not handled, or conversation are not spoken on those areas. Okay, so at the end, what are the key 5 steps that we can take? First is face the truth. Yeah, painful it is, but once we are able to name the actual problem, we can start looking for the solutions. Yeah, second one is, of course, continue to be aware of the shift that is happening outside of us. Yeah, because this shift is happening faster and faster, especially if you're business owners or run businesses. Yeah, then of course adopt different strategy. The good news is there's always someone ahead of us, someone who are already better in handling certain things that we want to grow. Yeah, for example, I'm not good in say property investment. Yeah, I look for gurus and found a great guru, for example. Okay, yeah, then of course continuous learning. Nobody can say no to this lah. Okay, continuous to learn from field that is unfamiliar with us. Yeah, and most importantly is become the right person. Okay, yeah, of course there are a lot more details inside there. And last but not least, I leave with you with this, yeah, and which is in the first cover of my book. Also, it's called the best way to predict the future is really to create it. Yeah, so whatever turbulence that we're going to face these 2 years, it is also actually an opportunity time. Yeah, opportunity to learn to relook and get ready or even start. Yeah, to capture the new wave. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, so this is my book. You can QR it. Yeah, the form is there, and just for up to this Sunday, yeah, I think 31st, right? Yeah, this Sunday. So the price will be 78 only. Yeah, and for the Klang Valley area, yeah, PJ Klang Valley, I will absorb the upper shipping cost. Yeah, for the out of the Klang Valley, then there will be an additional fee. Yeah, and this book is not available internationally yet because my publisher international is not ready yet. Yeah, but eventually it will be in international. Yeah, in your bookshop and also the Amazon and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, so that's about it. Okay, thank you.
Right, everyone, can you just give a hand of applause for Susie? Right, it was a very good session in terms of she really covered a lot of things about what we need to know about the human race 4.0 and of course in industry 4.0 and where we need to be going in the next few years. Huh? Now, any questions? Anyone? Any questions? Come, if you've got a question, please, unmute yourself or type in the chat so that we know that you have a question for us.
Yeah, do unmute and share. I would like to hear from you, hear your voice too.
Excuse me. Come. Anybody? Questions? Right, unmute yourself, ask questions. Ask questions. Hey, you got no questions, I'll ask Susie, Right. Susie, don't mind. I mean, I know you've been doing a lot of work with banks and things like that over the past few months. What is the greatest or the most difficult challenge that all of us would face in terms of making this leap? I know you've covered quite a few things, but in your opinion, in terms of what they have been telling you, what is the number one greatest thing that most Malaysian companies will need to undertake to overcome and jump in?
This is my personal observation. We are still very laid back.
Okay. Go ahead, continue. It's gotta be a hard one, slap on the face. Okay, go.
I would say that Actually, if you look at even our unemployment rate of the former rate of 5%, it is very low, right? From a human resource perspective, it is not enough for us to churn and to get the good ones, you know. It's like we need to fill the role, right? So we just get sometimes not so good one, we also get in that, we need to fill the role and do the job. You know? So a healthy, what do you call that? The unemployment rate is usually about 5 to 8%. Okay, yeah, and so for the longest time, our unemployment has been actually very low. Okay, so but I mean, of course, when I say this, I don't mean to put down of those who lost their job lah. Yeah, I've seen people who lost their job, but they didn't have the right strategy. I recently just met up with one of my friends after 20 years, and I realized that, oh my God, her husband has really good international experience, you know, in IT some more. You know, just recently lost a job and say, I don't know how to find a job, very difficult to find a job. I say, do you know that people are looking for you? You know, and then when I go to LinkedIn, the other profile, I say, what are you doing, man? So I don't care. And I say, give me a time. I will have Zoom with you. I tell you what to do. You know? Yeah. So I mean, we just need to know what to do. You know, and if you don't know how to do it, then reach out. Yeah. And one of the lady in the room here, you know, I won't name her name. Many years ago, when she met me, you know, she don't know English. When she met me in one of the seminar, you know, she got my phone. Then later on, she called me and said, "Can I meet up with you?" You know,
Okay.
and this is what I call being resourceful, right?
Yeah.
So. And through the years, you know, last time she didn't have a degree. Today she is a degree holder, Dean List. Yeah, and then international company with a bank now, project management team, right? From nobody working in a factory to project management team in 15 years, or less than 15 years, I think. I can't. Oh, 10 years actually, 10 years. Yeah, so it's being resourceful, and a lot of people are not resourceful. But of course, you still have people who are resourceful. Yeah, situation they look out, they reach out, and then they say, "Hey, you know, help me." You know, is there any other way?
Right, thank you very much. Right, anyone else? Come, ask questions. Ask questions. Right, and just to let you know, there's quite a few gurus in the room. I'm looking through the names of the people here. There's actually quite a few experts in the room, including John himself, who's an expert in certain areas. Right, and also one of I always tell people John is one of my mentors as well. In terms of teaching me certain aspects of EQs and also profiling and things like that. Right, and he's also fantastic in gamification. I know Dr. Peter Yee was also in the room just now. I'm not sure where he is. I think he's left. But he is a fantastic person to follow when it comes to property. This guy's got like 30, 40 years of property experience in his head. So when you're seeing these young people talk about property nowadays, or you should buy, should not buy, I always go to them and ask them a simple question. I ask myself, when a person has gone through a few economic cycles in property, because property is that long, right? Then they can call themselves a guru. Yeah. A person can make lots of money in a boom, but what happens when it's the downturn? Do you still come up with the same strategies and things like that? So Dr. Peter has done that, and I think it's someone to really follow up with. Okay, so question, everybody. Anybody questions? I know with beyond 5, but since we've got Susie on the Zoom today, not easy to get hold of her, right? Right. So anyone, question? Go. Don't be shy. Ask questions.
Yeah, John, I saw your sharing the chat also. Yeah. So yeah, during this pandemic has actually forced us to do many things that we might not be comfortable doing before, right? Yeah, even like shopping online or Zoom, right? Be more public, right? And things like that. Yeah. So
I have a question, Susan. I think if we were policymakers or leaders of organizations, okay, how can we hasten the adoption of technology by people? I mean, you just mentioned about complacency overall. I think at individual levels, as what I shared, that is also the same. Myself inclusive, I will never purchase things online because I trust it. Other people skip my thing after the package never arrive, But during the MCO and all that, it becomes a new game, a new toy. Hey, got parcel, or very shocked, Go and take now. You buy things online mostly. So but overall in an organization, if you want to leverage on technology, how do we hasten the adoption, right? We have to force them, you know?
There is always two way, but one way I usually would not prefer. One is of course training, but the fastest way to really change somebody's mindset and therefore adopting a new way of doing things is actually put them through the process itself. Yeah, so one of the way is of course like for example the project teams. Yeah, and I noticed that organizations that has a lot of hackathon, yeah, they are not just creating ideas, but the ideas they actually bring to creating results all the way to the level. Yeah, it's all the way to execution. So and when you have different teams, you know, especially the closed door mindset closed door team, go into that after a few rounds, I can tell you this one really open, right? Today, actually in the policy makers and the auditors, the area, yeah, in the bank, they are also very advanced now, yeah, technology wise. Even our Bank Nagaras are continuously, Bank Nagara and SC continuously have conversations, you know, with even the newer technology and possible newer business models area, you know, to look at what could evolve, what will evolve, you know, before they eventually make it into a policy and allow it. Yeah.
Right, thank you. Anyone else? Questions? 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 Right. Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy to unmute yourself and ask a question, or in the chat group, just type, okay? I know some of the things that is being discussed here can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if this is the first time. I mean, I remember the first time I went into Industry 4.0 and I was having a massive, not so much of a massive headache, but it was an information overload. There's so many things that you really need to look into, okay? Right? And don't be afraid, because one of the key things I did for Industry 4.0, I actually ran a session on it sometime in 2020, January or February, I ran a session. And a lot of them in that session were actually CEOs of companies. And as what Susie was saying, it was shocking the amount of information that they had. It was shocking they had, as in there was very little information available. They have heard of the term. Everyone has bits and pieces of it, but in very few people in that room, of nearly 30 odd individuals, right? And most of them were C position levels, right? Actually could put in a concise paragraph what exactly it was all about. And majority of them, I would say, because of where the type of industry that they were from. And I had people from retail, I had people, bookstores, I had people who were running manufacturing plants, large manufacturing plants, I had people in transport and things like that. A large majority of them said it did not really affect them much. They don't see it affecting them you know, in the next 5 years. And I was shocked by that comment. And throughout the whole entire workshop, what happened was that it started to dawn on them that a lot of things were going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years, right? And what happened was, with the COVID hitting after that, which was less than 2 months later, suddenly everything just changed. Everything just changed. And a lot of people in those organizations that I was working with actually had retrenchments or VSS and things like that, because they suddenly just realized how big of an impact it would be. So my question here is this, okay, to Susie. How do we get upper management to, I mean, my perspective, I mean, I work as a trainer most of the time, doing consulting work occasionally, but as a trainer, how do I get more people or to be really opening their eyes out? So one thing that has worked for you, that gets people going, okay, we really need to have a serious look into this. What works?
In my experience, and I have always been involved in transformations ever since I entered into the working world. Yeah, and I start to go into the corporate side. Yeah, my role as a talent manager, also one portion of it is in the what we call it, the organization effectiveness. So a lot of change management and related. In the early stage of creating awareness, in the company, what we usually do is we actually invite a lot of external party, yeah, could be consulting or even our clients, yeah, to share what are the things that they are doing now to innovate and prepare for the future. And I still remember in my last job with an insurance company, in my LinkedIn, you can see which company is that. So we already started our digital transformation journey in much more earlier already. When I went in, they have already started. Yeah, but we continue to bring in our corporate client and also consultants, consulting companies to share, case studies of different industry. What do they do to change? Yeah, from not from technical, but from a culture, from a company's perspective, and also from a client. Yeah, the change that they created, how they create the change, and of course the results that they are getting. All right, so that's, we always say sometimes we cannot be our own preacher to our own people so you have to ask other people go and tell the same story, then boleh jalan. Okay, so sometimes you probably need to start with that. But if your CEO himself is not, then a bit jalat lah, right? So a lot more work to be done, right? You probably need to do a more what I call indirect way, probably have during a social makan or whatever, arrange to have people who are already advanced and then sit down and have makan with them, and then they start talking and then they start to open up their mind. And I always say these are change, right? Even for us, it will take us about, some of us 7 or 8 times listening to the same thing, then only decided that okay, I have to change. Okay, yeah, so it will take time. Yeah, it's not something that with a proposal, with a meeting we will change that. No way. Yeah, so sometimes, unfortunately, as a if we are trainers, sometimes when we go in, to make them change now, make a decisions now, close the deal now, it won't happen. Yeah, sometimes the engagement, that dating will take a few months or even a few years before they eventually say yes. Jeremy, you're mute.
Okay, 3 more minutes before we call it the end of the day. So my thing is, anyone questions, right? Because I also want to just ask you a few things, or no, sorry, just promote to you a few things that we are doing in Essence as well. Anybody?
I can. I just saw you.
Right. Ken is my business partner here. Okay.
Susie, hey, great talk. Yeah, hey, something that you touched on, where you say that people are not awake yet. People are still, they're still kata anda di bawah tempurung. So a lot of the organizations. Jeremy asked this. How do you get the senior leaders to change? However, we've come across situations where, as individuals, they know they need to change. Yeah, we talk about it. We tell them, that things are changing, things are going to be happening, right? But they are so protected and they are so out of touch, with what's happening out there, right? So we want to really trigger this change inside them. So as an individual, okay, if I were to go up to someone, or we were to go up to someone and advise them and to help them gain that realization of change, what would be the best thing for them to do? What would be the best way for them to be in touch with reality? Right, as to what's really happening, so they can get the 7th or 8th reminder, just to make it compelling, right? So what do you think can be done?
Yeah, there is many factors that makes a person cocoon themselves. Yeah, sometimes they are already aware of the brutal truth, but they are in a period where they are protecting themselves. So they are saying no to a lot of things, and they are saying I'm okay, and become very indifferent. Yeah. So what we can do is, of course, we need to understand, the human needs, right? So which is the area? Yeah, is it the basic? Yeah, money lah, resources, and then or the relational? Yeah, usually it's these two. Yeah. Which is the one that is their pain area. Yeah, so of course we cannot tell them is this your pain area or that your pain area? You know what I mean? Yeah. So what are they actually protecting? Yeah. So most people, when they are not ready to change it, because they are protecting something, and something that that is painful for them to face the truth. But the ironic thing is this: when we are able to face the truth, name the problem as the problem, that's where we are able to create solutions already. Yeah, so it's a lot of psychological preparedness of a person who are willing to face it lah. So our role then is to be their friend, to create that psychological safe space. Yeah, rather than keep telling them you need to change, then they will change, because it will create their cocoon more, their wall heavier. Yeah, but when we are in a psychological safe, create a space where they feel psychologically safe with us. They feel that we are accepting them as whatever situation, whoever they are, at whatever stage they are. The more they are being able to open up, and eventually they will be able to take a step. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thanks for that.